Hey, how's it going? This is John. I want to talk about a suspicious spirit. It's what I call a suspicious spirit, or a spirit of scrutiny, and how it seems to be kind of rampant in the church. And the connection that I'm trying to make here is when there's a suspicious kind of an attitude regarding moves of God, and it keeps people. The whole purpose of the enemy, I think, in this process, is to keep people at a distance, to keep them removed. And you hear it talked about a lot of different ways. You hear like with when there's a call to action, a call to response, a move of God, these kinds of things. People they'll say, well, I'm taking a wait and see approach. And ever since I've been in Detroit, I've picked up on that attitude over this region, and this has to be dealt with. And I love how I think it was my father-in-law or my mother-in-law, I think it was my father-in-law, posted on Facebook and said God has not called us to take a wait and see approach. He's called He's called us to take a watch and pray approach, which means we're very intimately involved in the process. And so there's alarms being sounded all over Detroit right now for this massive move of God, that's upon us. But even more than that, right now the move of God is significant, yet the potential is greater than the experience right now. And so the issue is we are sounding the alarm, calling every hungry zealot in Detroit together. And I was talking to somebody that was that's a friend of mine that was picking up on this suspicious spirit thing. It's like, and she was really grieved. It's like, John, I'm picking up on some things where people are just kind of suspicious and kind of waiting back and kind of waiting to see if it's really God, and they're not jumping in. And even more than that, there's this attitude of I kind of doubt that this is God and that kind of stuff. And it's a big deal. I'll never forget when I went to Lakeland, the outpouring that was there. And I don't know if it was just simple observation or if God was landing something on me to remember. But here people were flying in from all over the world, paying big money, taking time off work and doing everything they could to fly into to Orlando, rent a car, drive to Lakeland, pay for hotels, all this kind of stuff to go to this outpouring. Yet as I'm driving to the meetings each night, I'm looking all over the place at other churches. And it was clear, just based on their marquees and different things, that they were not jumping in at all to what God was doing, that divine moments in time. And you could only wonder how much jealousy or judgment or all the negative stuff was going on. I'm thinking, if you're a pastor in Lakeland, and I understand all the struggles that happened, but if you tell me God wasn't there, I'll just lovingly smile and move on, because God rocked so many people, including me. And if my church is there, I'm thinking we're canceling everything to be in the midst of the revival there. Maybe we hold Sunday services at our place, but everything other than that is in the revival. And so to me, it's crazy that it seems like it's common sense, but I don't know. I don't know what the issue is with that. I started this conversation on Facebook, and I made the point. Some people are making the point that, well, you've got to be discerning and aware and all this kind of stuff and all of that. And of course that's true, but you're not going to be able to discern easily from a distance. And so we need to be involved together. And what's the risk of jumping in and going for it? Jumping in and contending and praying and being in the mix and being available and serving and all of that kind of stuff. If there's clear heresy, then there's some steps that can be taken in that moment. But you've got to be in the mix. And I've been involved in a lot of different moves of God things, and I'll tell you this, that I've never been in something that should have caused me to shout heresy. I think people are a little hypersensitive and a little nervous and even if, we do know that there will be people that will be leading others astray. We know all that's going to be the case, especially as the end draws near. But I think people are overly fearful. They're driven by fear instead of wisdom, and fear keeps them at this place of thinking, oh no, if they come, within a mile of the place, then all of a sudden these demons are going to jump on them and they're going to be heretics too, and it's just not the case. I mean, I've seen so many moves of God. When I was a youth pastor, every time I heard of a move of God, whether it was a simple 3-night meeting in a church somewhere, or it was a blowout worship conference at the Anaheim Vineyard, or there was a Brownsville kind of thing going on in San Diego there when I was there, and anytime that something like that was going on, we were loading up the bus and driving. And I'm 41 years old. I've never been in something that has been a heretical, horrible, demonized thing, and usually you can pick up on that pretty quick. And so the whole point of this is we don't need to be suspicious people that, I just don't know, I'm not going to get involved in that until God shows up at my door and an angel shows up at my bed. And then if it's an angel, that might even be a demon, so that probably isn't God either. And so if there's angels connected with this, then it's probably demons, and we're looking for... Listen, I've said this before. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to be a Berean, and it's that same attitude. I'm going to be a Berean, I'm going to study this out, and by golly, I'm going to see if this is a thing of God. Okay, number one, the Bereans, if you read Scripture, were counted more noble not because they searched the Scripture, period. That's not why they were counted more noble. Read it. They were counted more noble. Why? Because, unlike others, they eagerly received the news. And then they studied the Scriptures. So it's like, oh, this is amazing. God is moving. I'm so excited. This new outpouring. Wow, it's incredible. Let me get into the Bible. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see what comes of this. And that was the attitude there. It was excitement and passion and zeal and joy and childlikeness. It wasn't this nasty thing. So all of that being said, everyone needs to be at these revival meetings. In Dearborn, and the one that's going to be at my place on Sunday night. Everybody, I'm going to be at every single meeting, I believe. Anything that we've got going on that would conflict with going to Dearborn, to that church, to that revival, is going to be tabled, and we're going for it. So just drop that fearful thing. God's not called you to be fearful. Be full of life. Be full of joy, and whenever the smell of fire is around, and all of that, and the alarm is being sounded, don't take a wait and see approach. That's all over Detroit, folks. It's choking Detroit, that wait and see approach, and don't do that. God's not looking for people that are going to wait and see. He's looking for people that are going to initiate and cause things to happen. If all the people that are called to initiate revival and initiate a move of God are waiting and seeing, then we're going to miss the move of God, most likely. So let me know what you think. Shoot me an email, john@johnburton.net. Go to the new website for this movement in Detroit, thefireplacedetroit.com. All right? Talk to you soon. You're amazing. Peace.